Hey everyone, and welcome out to episode 127 of our Nerd Name Mark podcast. It's me, it's Mark, and sorry for the delay of this episode. I got a lot going on. Just been working on a lot of other YouTube videos, working on some collaborations on some other projects, working a lot, and I'm actually recording at night for once. Usually I record in the morning, early afternoon, but I actually have some time, and I'm actually recording at 11:30 at night, which has been the trend for a lot of my videos lately. I've actually been recording them pretty late. I mean, the other day I recorded one at almost 1 a.m., rendered it, uploaded it while I was asleep, woke up at 8 and made it go live to make sure everything checked from copyrights and whatnot. That's what happens when you work full time and then you want to be a content creator. You have to put in the work, and yeah, a lot going on. Plus I wanted to kind of delay this one because of D23 Expo going on. I wanted to see what they were going to announce from Star Wars and Marvel and everything else and be able to talk about that. I also finally had time to go to the comic book store, so I have some comics. I also have some manga and some other collectibles. I'm really excited. This was actually a really big week for me for a lot of stuff that I got in the last 7 or 8 days. Obviously this episode's probably going to go up on Tuesday, so about 3 days late, 3 to 4 days late, which I apologize for. I'm still going to have a regular scheduled episode going up this Friday, so you're getting 2 this week. And because my schedule is kind of slowed down a bit, which is good. I kind of needed it for not mental health, but also my physical health. I really needed to just kind of recharge my batteries, because ever since coming back from the honeymoon, I have been just go without just time to just kind of relax and reset and everything. And I kind of need that every 6, 7, 8 months or so. I need cut back my schedule a bit, not working so much, and just kind of find my balance. So that's what the next 2 weeks are going to be. So I'm really thankful that I have that option with my work, and they care about stuff like that, and they allot me the time to just chill, so it's cool. Oh yeah, it's almost spooky season. I got my trick-or-treat tumbler. We went to Spirit Halloween. I was gonna do a video and this and that of everything I got, but I didn't. I got a couple different tumblers and some coffee mugs. Didn't really get any costumes or decorations yet. I will be doing that soon, or well, we will be. She's gonna, wife's gonna go with me. But yeah, I really enjoyed that because I love Halloween, and literally we are, let's see, 3 weeks away from me doing the 4th annual spooky month, or the horror month, and I'm already got a lot of stuff planned out. I can't wait. Last year was fun, but I feel like I need to get it more fine-tuned, and I need to go deep into the recesses of my love of horror, and that's what I'm gonna be doing in October. It's going to be a good time, because I'm going to be going into more collectibles and the fandom side of horror, and not just here's my favorite genres, here's my favorite this and that. It's no, we're deep diving into the recesses of horror. And I started planning it the second I was done last year in October. So I've been planning some of the stuff since November, and I'm finally going to finalize a lot of it. So before we get into the comics, the manga, what I'm watching, and the D23 stuff, like I said, a lot of stuff came out. Got a lot of collectibles in the mail. One day I had 4 different deliveries, one from Amazon, one from DHL, one from FedEx, and one from UPS. So it was really entertaining to have my window open and my door open with the screen shut, just looking and being okay, who's going to show up? Are they all going to show up at the same time? Because that would be entertaining. So a lot of listeners of the podcast and this and that, I know you guys like the comics and that. I do kind of interject every once in a while some tokusatsu in here, because this isn't a Toku podcast. Eventually I have something to announce in regards to that, but not a podcast though. And I got a lot of Toku merch this week. So I guess I'll start off with the Soto line, because obviously my big bookshelf behind me, those are all Soto Kamen Rider figures. I got the final wave for Kamen Rider Revice, which is wave number by 9, which is wave number 9. Comes with all those nice figures. I got duplicates, so I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about duplicates. But so you put them together and this and that, and there's a campaign a couple months back with Wave 6, where you could take the like CPU tops, put them on like a mailer form, mail it in, and they would do like a lottery campaign to get a special edition figure. And because it was only for Japanese residents, I was kind of upset. But then I found via Bai someone who was selling it on Mercari in Japan. So I got this little envelope in the mail. I already put the figure together. If you follow me on Instagram or you've seen my YouTube shorts, I did a unboxing of it, but I finally built it. And this is for Kamen Rider. This is for the character Vice in his devil form. And so this is a campaign item, very limited, not like, you know, thousands and thousands, like, you know, of units made. So to have that in my collection, it completes my Revice collection. But then I was like, well, I'm still missing one more. And they do, I get my monthly magazines, but every once in a while they do a super edition, which isn't a part of my subscription. And the super one usually comes with a Soto figure. So I got the kangaroo form for Revice, and I got this through Mandarake. So that now officially completes every released Kamen Rider Revice Soto, which means I've got 2 full sets because I have every released Saber one, and now I have every released Revice. So I started going back to get into like some of the older seasons. There's like the ones that really have a lot outside of the Chronicle line, which I've got basically all the Chronicles except for 3 premium Bandai sets. They have build, Kamen Rider Build, like Kamen Rider Zeo, Kamen Rider X8, and Kamen Rider 01. So I've been going back and getting some of the Zeo ones and some of the 01. Like my goal is to have a complete Soto set. A lot of them are expensive, from like a premium Bandai standpoint. So this is going to be something that's going to be a very long-term goal of mine, especially because I still have my hookup in Japan. So I get the newer ones relatively cheap. So the Revice Buy 9 was from the person I buy from in Japan directly. So that's my goal. My goal is to continue to like get those, because I really want to like have every single one. And if I do, it's gonna be like 2 of those bookshelves. For those of you watching, the bookshelves with the little puck lights on them, it'd probably be more than 2 full bookshelves. It'd probably be like almost 3. And I'm just like, you know what, that's still the end game goal for me, because I did a whole video talking about like what my goals were from a collecting standpoint from Toku merch. The Soto side of things, my goal is to have every Soto ever made. From a belt standpoint, which is called a driver, which if you're watching, I have one right here to my right, which is for Kamen Rider Demons. And then right behind me, I have my totem, which has Revice, Saber, and 01. Well, about a week and a half ago, the newest season started called Kamen Rider Geats. And I ended up, one of the other deliveries the same day, I got the belt for that, which is called the Desire Driver. And so that is now in my collection. I do appreciate everyone who checked out the video on YouTube with the unboxing and review. I still have it right next to me on my desk because I haven't gotten any more Dizes to display it. And I did order a couple more Dizes because I want to display my Kamen Rider Garen driver and the Geats one as well. So, you know, I'm still working on some displays. I think I'm actually going to put multiple right here too. I'm definitely going to put the Blade one there. That's for sure. So yeah, that's like kind of like most of the merch I got. I mean, little things here and there that don't like, I don't even have by me to like show off and, you know, go over. I'm actually, because it's late night, I did a tweet and I think it was very entertaining because when I edit, so when I do a lot of late night like work of this and that, like I don't eat, like I'm not drinking like caffeine. I don't like ingest sugar or anything like that. So like when we went to Costco, I bought like a container of 4 pounds of plums. I love plums. Plums are delicious. If like, okay, out of all the fruit, you can't tell me plums aren't like top tier. They are so delicious. And I also got this big huge jar, a quart of pickles, but I got the halves. So it's like this, a pickle cut in half, not the little spears, not the thin Vlasic, just some kosher dill halves. And I was sitting here and my wife was making fun of me because I'm just like sitting here. It was like 10:30 at night. I'm like editing videos, and I'm sitting there with a paper towel, obviously, because I don't want to make a mess and get pickle juice everywhere. And I'm just like eating freaking half pickles. And she's like, "You're just gonna sit there and eat pickles?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna eat pickles. Why wouldn't I eat pickles? Pickles are delicious. Like, they're also like, I don't." Then I guess it's because like I find like from fruit and vegetables and this and that, I find very obscure snacks. Like I'll eat plums, just wash them, eat them like an apple. I'll eat half pickles or whole pickles. It don't matter if it's a pickle. I'll even eat pickle slices, and then I also eat pickles, pickled jalapenos out of the jar too, which a lot of people find weird. I don't know. I think they're delicious, but I'm just in here munching on pickles, editing some videos, and even right now, like I was recording this, I was like, man, I really want a pickle because I was like working on stuff beforehand, but then I was like, well, I can't record a podcast and eat a pickle. So like, part of me is like, do I just pause recording, or can I just like end this episode really quickly and just eat a pickle? Like, I don't. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, man, this jar is like haunting me. It's haunting me. But I digress. So, let's see. I'm trying to think. You know what? I'm gonna go over manga first because it's been so long since it's been a couple weeks since I've gotten comic books. I want to save the comic books for last out of going over everything before I dive into movies and video games and, D23. So, obviously, I got another stack of manga, even though I said I was cutting back on it, but these are all like newer volumes of stuff that I'm reading that came out. A new one that started, and then also me still going through my backlog and kind of catching up on some series. So right off the bat, one of the newer ones I got was volume 4 of Necromance, and I really am enjoying this manga. It's I'm trying to think how to describe it. It's not, I don't, it's just really good. I've talked about volume 1 before. I'm not going to go over the whole like spiel of the story. I do plan on doing some manga content soon, reviewing stuff and going over it, so it will be up on either audio or video. Well, it's definitely video. I don't know if I'm gonna do audio for it. Another one is that I've been catching up on after watching season 1 is Spy Family. I finally found volume 3. I've had volume 1 and 2 and read those for so long. Volume 3 covers the finale of season 1, so going into volume 4 would be like season 2. I really enjoyed the anime. I enjoyed the first 2 volumes, and I was like, I can't find volume 3 in stock anywhere. And finally, I was at Barnes & Noble. By the way, all these mangas were found at Barnes & Noble. I have the little membership, so I get I got like 20% off and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool, not complaining. So I finally found volume 3. I was really excited because I wanted to finish this so I can go into volume 4. And so this Spy Family is definitely really good. It's funny, I bought volume 1 before the anime came out, and I read it because I found volume 1 and 2 at Target of all places, and I was like, oh, this is really good. And then like one of my friends was like, hey, it's a anime that just started. I was like, oh, really? Cool, I will check this out. But yeah, so Spy Family volume 3. Another one, it's not really new, but it's something Andrew has been recommending me to read and check out, and I can never find any of the earlier volumes in stock, which has been a real problem around here because I try and go to mom and pop stores and smaller book chains and this and that to get my manga, but it's really tough to find them. And sometimes I have to go like further to a Barnes & Noble that's further away, because we have one that's like a mile and a half from us, and they really don't have, they have a lot of manga, but they never have new stuff. Like it's always sold out or limited, or they don't get a lot in, or it's delayed. And so I finally went to the other Barnes & Noble that's further away, and I found Hitomi-chan is Shy with Strangers, volume 1 and volume 2. Very fan servicey covers. Andrew recommended this to me. I went online and I read like a preview chapter, like the first chapter online, and I was like, oh, this is good. I was like, I will definitely read this because me and Andrew have very similar tastes in manga. We always recommend stuff to each other, and we have like, there was a time where like we were constantly talking, like right when new like chapters were being released, and like reading them and then being like, yo, this is cool. Like we did that for a lot of manga, up to like over 100 chapters. So it's like we had a lot of conversations about manga. We do have very similar taste, so we recommend stuff to each other. So when he recommended that to me, I was like, all right, I'll check out one chapter of it, and I was like, I'm hooked, I'm sold. That's how a lot of my manga is. Another one I'm playing catch up on stuff is I got Classroom of the Elite Volume 2. I really enjoyed Volume 1, so I was like, I do have this affinity, and I think it's not just in anime and manga, it's also video games too, like Danganronpa, stuff like that. Even though the genre is different, I do enjoy a lot of the, like, not just comedy high school manga and anime, but like also like kind of like gritty, like thriller, mystery, this and that, and just sometimes something that's a little action packed. So like, and School Rumble is like action comedy, but mainly comedy. Like there's a whole wide demographic of genres within that category. Classroom of the Elite, I really enjoyed Volume 1, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna continue this. Let me go pick up Volume 2. And then from a catching up standpoint, I finally got Volume 7 of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. I know a lot of people have their qualms with the anime and the manga. Not too many people. I mean, it's praised pretty regularly, a lot of positivity, but I was like, I'm going to catch up on the manga. I've had up to Volume 6 for quite some time, and I read up to 6, and I was like, I want to read Chapter 7. I know 11's about to come out, or just did come out, and I'm like, well, I'll catch up on it, but here's some other ones that just started that I want to get into. Like, it's been kind of on the back burner, but I definitely am glad I picked up Volume 7. I just have 4 more volumes to go through, and I'm caught up with everything that's been physically released, because I don't read scan sites. I don't read fan translated ones. I always officially support released manga and anime. I just think that's, you know, with how accessible manga is now in the United States, I want to support them. It's just like how I am with comic books, or whenever something, you know, like Ultraman or Kamen Rider, like I buy this stuff when they come out, when they're officially released in the US, because I want to support it so more stuff gets brought here. Another one, and I was really on the fence about this, and I wasn't sure, and I'm going to read Volume 1 just to see, because everyone keeps telling me about this, like co-workers, people in a couple Discords. I picked up the Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, and I was like, it looks obscure, it looks weird, there's a lot of volumes, so I'm like, I don't want to get into another thing where I'm buying like 20 plus volumes of something, because that takes up so much space. But everyone was recommending it to me, and I was like, they're like, no, just give it a chance, you'll probably enjoy it. And I was like, it does happen a lot with manga. That's what happened with Jujutsu Kaisen. It happened with Chainsaw Man. It happened, you know, it does happen frequently for me to like be like, hey, when multiple people are telling me to check that out, and I'm like, and it doesn't really seem like it would be up my alley and not my forte, but then I end up checking out, I'm like, oh, I'm pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to be going in blind into that, and I will be reading that actually tomorrow on my day off. I'm going to check it out. But then I have 2 more manga volumes left. The first one, I've been waiting so long for this. I have not found it in stores, and it was sold out online at the time. Rooster Fighter. That's right. Rooster Fighter. A manga where a rooster literally fights kaijus or monsters. Like, for those watching on YouTube, look at that. Come on now. It's a normal sized rooster. The rooster doesn't get big. The rooster is rooster size. Fighting big monsters. There's something very appealing about that. And I was like, yeah. That's and the cat's acting up. What are you doing? She's the little one's just hyper. But yeah, I was like, I need to read that. I remember when I saw like previews for it and scans for it, I was like, I need this. I can't wait to find this in a store. And then lastly, I gushed about Volume 1 online so much, and to my friends. Volume 2 finally came out for Blue Lock. I'm not a big sports, manga, or anime fan. I mean, Captain Tsubasa is one of my favorites because I played soccer for so long, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse whenever I talk about my history with the sport of soccer, so I'm not going to talk about it. But Volume 2 finally came out, And I cannot recommend this enough. Even if you're not into sports manga, this is like the action in this and the story and the characters are so good. I was like, damn, like makes me wish I would get back. Maybe I'll have to like drop some poundage and get back into running and freaking play some soccer because it's that good. I'm really enjoying it. But that's it for manga. I mean, let's see, how many is that? 2, 4, 6, about 9 volumes. That's not that bad, you know. I mean, it could be considered bad, but hey, that's neither here nor there. So, next up, I figure I don't even know if I have them organized. I'm like trying to peek really quick. I was like, do I even have everything organized? I do, because I have a lot of comics, a lot of back issues. I already boarded and bagged them. So I don't know if I've talked about this or not. I switched over from my comic book standpoint. I started getting. I was doing current bags with current boards, and I just didn't like how tight they were fitting the comics, and I felt like they were like kind of putting too much pressure on them, and it made them very difficult if I wanted to reread a comic to take them out. So I switched back over to regular boards and bags, but I got the resealable bags because I was tired of trying to tape the bags and this that. It's such a pain in the ass when you want to open up a comic to like deal with the tape. So I got the resealable bags, and I feel like that was a really smart choice on my end because like I don't know, I just didn't want to deal with tape, and it's actually cut my boarding and bagging time a little bit quicker. But also I do like there's a little breathing room using the regular boards and bags, and when I do get like a thicker special comic, they fit in those just fine. Like you couldn't fit one of the larger ones like into like, you know, a special one that's like maybe 60 pages, 100 pages. You can't fit those in their current. So I switched over to those. I just figured I'd let everyone know for some odd reason. So first up, I've got issue 2, which is called episode 2 of Red Man, and this one's you know, the creators of Ultraman. Red Man was also a live action tokusatsu show. Tokusatsu, yeah, I want to make sure I said that right. And so I got volume 2. I love this cover, this variant, because it's done like a clockwork orange. Looks so clean. And then volume 3 also came out, and it actually is about Kanagon, who's also an Ultraman kaiju. So I was, actually, if you could tell on the shelf over here, which I don't have the lights on yet, I have a Funko Pop for him. And then I got this virgin full color art variant with Red Man and all the different kaijus, and I was like, yeah, that is a sick cover. Usually, you know, I stopped doing multi covers, but I was like, no, this one I need this. Next up, continuing that, is I got the variant in volume 1 of the Mystery of Ultra 7. If you heard my episode or watched my episode of 126 where I go over Power Morphicon, we can, you know, my Ultraman comic signed by Kyle. I am so hyped for the Mystery of Ultra 7. Ultra 7 is actually one of my favorite Ultraman. I did do a ranking video months ago, I think back in May, and I literally was like, Ultra 7 is one of my favorite. And so now we're getting into some other stuff I got from Boom Studios. I got House of Slaughter issue 8. Really digging House of Slaughter from something that's killing the children spin-off. It's set in the same universe. Really good. It's hitting its stride. I think Boom has so much like really good you know, new IPs and stuff coming out. So I was like, this is very entertaining. I also have the final and 4th issue of the Stranger Things little newest run. I went with that cover B because I was like, you know what, I kind of like that with the Demogorgon in the snow with the Russia, so that was good. Speaking of, before Cal Higgins, I have Radiant Black issue 17. Really digging Radiant Black series, so it's really good right now. It's worth checking out. And then I have issue 8 of Hulk, which is the Banner of War finale. Which was like, you know, Hulk and Thor, you know, going at it. I think, obviously, it's Donny Cates, so we know I picked it up. Um, and then I have, because issue 100 is coming out this month, by the way, for Power Rangers. So I have Mighty Morphin 22, which is pretty cool with, yellow, black, and red Ranger on it. And then I have Power Rangers 22, which also has a red, a yellow, and a black on it. So I was like, okay. And then I'm kind of kicking my own ass for this. And I think it's already in my box already. I had a variant for Little Monsters number 5, but I already put it in my comic box because I don't know why. But I did get issue 4, which is a reprint. So sometimes I was missing issue 2, and I told my comic book shop, hey, I don't have issue 2. If you could find one for me, let me know. If I'm ever missing issues from a run, I could tell them what I'm missing, and they will actually go find it for me, which is crazy, and I love that they do that for me. But I didn't realize I did already pick up 4, and I didn't know that. So they actually found a 4 for me, along with, the new issue 5, which is in my box already. But I do love this cover with like the purplish, like pink coloring and the black and the white on it. It's so good. And then, so I had 5, and I also got issue 6. Jeff Lemire. Is it Lemire? Or Lemire? I love everything that is going on with Little Monsters. Such a good run. Really enjoying it. And then next up, I have Power Rangers Unlimited number 1, The Death Ranger, which everyone who's been reading the Power Ranger comics has been hyped for the Death Ranger. I can't wait to sit down and read that. And then lastly, I got Godzilla Rivals versus Batra. So I love this IDW run, strictly because each issue it's not a numbered series or anything like that. They're kind of treating it like the old movies. So it's Godzilla versus this, Godzilla versus that, each issue. And I love that. And they're not every month, I don't think they've been, because they're all one shots. And I've been enjoying those so much. And I'm excited to read that one too. I read a lot of the Godzilla ones. They're very enjoyable. But that's it for my comic books. Not too bad of a haul. They had a lot of variant covers and this and that, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get one, like, besides the Red Man one, which I got the Virgin cover for. Other than that, I wasn't gonna get. I put back a lot of them. I'm not getting multiple covers, because I'm saving up to get multiple covers when Power Rangers 100 comes out. Because I'm not looking forward to those covers. Like, it's gonna be. I'm never gonna financially recover from that. So, a little palate cleanse before we get into D23. Because it's a lot. And I think I'm going to surprise everyone with my opinion, because D23 actually got me kind of excited for some of the future of the Marvel stuff they're going to be working on. And I know a lot of people will be like, really? Because I haven't, like, I don't know how to word this, honestly. I'm, like, a lot of people are misconstruing when I'm saying I'm not really keeping up with Marvel and I don't really care anymore as me being negative or hating on it. And it's not. It's just right now I'm not feeling it. And so, oh, my lights are turning off behind me. So we can turn those off now. There we go. So I'm not hating on Marvel. I'm burnt out of all superhero stuff. So it's also DC. It's also, TV shows like The Boys even. I'm like, I'm gonna hold off. I just don't want to watch anything superhero right now. Like, and I'm slowly getting back into it again. Like, with She-Hulk's been entertaining, and I like how everyone's like, okay, I've been positive about She-Hulk, and I do talk about the negative stuff too. But I didn't know just enjoying a show makes you a shill. Because apparently I'm a Marvel shill now. And I was like, that's kind of funny, because my bank account doesn't reflect me being a shill and being paid off. Because I assumed I was getting paid off, like, my bank account would have like a comma in there or two and some zeros and some more. Like, I was like, no, I'm just enjoying the stuff. I was like, I'm giving money to these companies, and trust me, if I didn't like something, they wouldn't get my money. Like, and when people are like, oh, you're just fake liking it because, you know, people, you know, you'll get the clicks online. It's like, I don't. Have you seen my numbers? They don't get a lot of views. I'm just, you know, if I enjoy something, I'll talk about it. And it's also counterbalancing the amount of negativity out there just to be negative. And I've been on, that's the hill I'm going to die on. Most of the negativity stuff is like over exaggerated and fabricated more than it actually is. Because I can constructively say it's when things are negative and not sound angry all the time. But I digress. A lot of the D23 stuff did excite me. Some stuff didn't, honestly. Like, I know there's more Black Panther stuff, and I didn't want to check out anything about it. I didn't want to look at the suits. I didn't want to look at any images, like, because I was like, you know, it's coming out in November. I'm going to check it out just because I'm so curious what they're going to do. And I think that's the true test now for that franchise, is how they're going to handle it with Wakanda Forever going forward, because that's going to, like, really, you know, just see if it like is going to hold up compared to, you know, the first film, which set all those records, you know. See, we did get more stuff for the Marvels, and they did show some footage of it, and I guess, like, a lot of the, for the three characters, like Carol, Monica, and Kamala, like, their powers are all linked together and stuff, and they're swapping and this, that, and I'm like, okay, that's intriguing. It's not on my radar of something I feel like I need to watch, though. I'll probably check it out if it goes on Disney Plus, but as of right now, because I know it's coming out in July of next year, so depending on how July of next year looks for movies, if there's nothing really going on, I might check it out, but it's not on my radar to, like, I need to see this type of thing. Then we get the Thunderbolts finally, which, listen, the Thunderbolts should have came out after Captain America Civil War. I'm just saying it. That's when they should have. We had Thunderbolt Ross, and, you know, Civil War did give us Zemo, so, like, we could have had a hybrid of Zemo and Ross's Thunderbolts. Instead, in this version, it's interesting because we're gonna have Winter Soldier, so Sebastian Stan is back. We're gonna have Red Guardian. We're gonna have Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp. We're gonna have U.S. Agent from Captain America and Winter Soldier. We're gonna have Taskmaster and Yelena Belova, both from, you know, also Black Widow. And we're gonna have the Countess there also, and that's gonna be in July also of 2024, though. And I'm like, I mean, that gives them enough time with, like, you know, TV shows coming out and movies to kind of set it up, but, like, I'm sorry, that just seems like such, like, Winter Soldier has been the least utilized since Civil War, honestly. Like, has not been properly utilized. I did enjoy him in Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier, but, like, other than that, like, I don't want to say Captain Falcon, just Falcon and Winter Soldier. Jeez. I don't know why Winter Soldier has been properly utilized, honestly, and it's just been kind of annoying. And to put him in Thunderbolts, that's just gonna be, like, that's why when I made the tweet, I called them Thunder Mids, and I'm like, no, because, like, we aren't utilizing these characters properly. Like, Winter Soldier should have already had a standalone movie. There's so much depth to his character, and he hasn't really been properly portrayed. And then, we are getting more stuff for Captain America New World Order, and I guess Tim Blake is Nelson's back as leader, who was in the Incredible Hulk when he had, like, the blood dripping on him and his brain started swelling up, and he's gonna be the villain. And I was like, okay. And obviously Danny Ramirez is now gonna be the new Falcon, which we figured from, you know, watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's coming out in May of 2024, so I'm like, okay, like, we're gonna get some 2023 announcements besides the Marvels. But I'm really excited for Tim Nelson to come back as leader, because I always wondered, like, come on, why isn't he back? The downside is he's gonna be Captain America New World Order, and I'm like, Hulk, like, come on now, like, we need like I don't know what they're setting up. I mean, I have some ideas, and I might do another video eventually going over it. But I have some ideas of what they're gonna do at Leader. Next up, we got some Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania, which I hate the name of. They did show some footage apparently, and the main thing I saw about it was Bill Murray's going to be in it. But this movie's coming out February 17th, so I was like, you know what, that's 6 months away. That's not bad. No, 5 months away. That's not too bad, so I can hold out for that, and we'll probably get a real full trailer soon for it. The main thing that really got me hyped in, which is why like I'm really hopeful and back in on the MCU, is the freaking Secret Invasion trailer. Oh, looks so good. It looks like it's gonna be like a thriller. It's coming out in spring, Disney Plus. So I was like, I am gonna have a trailer reaction for that going live at some point. I have to record it still because I'm breaking down the trailer because this was something also I was like, man, this should have happened. Like Secret Invasion and Thunderbolts definitely should have happened after Civil War. And honestly, I think Black Widow should have happened after Civil War. That show and those two movies should have happened after Civil War. It would have been great. Would have been perfect timing. But nope. And then apparently there's Loki season 2. Don't care. Coming out next summer. Don't care at all, honestly. Another thing is Daredevil Born Again. That's what I'm like really happy for. The thing is, it's not a sequel. It's gonna be like a reboot of the show. But Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are gonna be in it as Daredevil and Kingpin. So that's all I care about because they were both phenomenal in that. But once again, 2024. I was like, we're getting like 2 things for 2023 outside of from movie standpoint, and only 1 thing for a TV show. And I'm like, are we gonna get anything? And then I guess people, when they were doing the Black Panther Wakanda Forever footage, they did a preview for Ironheart, which is Riri Williams, and that show is going to be coming out next year, the end of next year. I personally don't care. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's this Iron Man, that's not like, no, Riri Williams was in the comic story for Riri Williams was actually really good. And towards the end, when Iron Man returned, there were some good elements in the character of Riri Williams, but at the same time, there was also just, I don't know, it wasn't, I wasn't the target audience of that. I knew that going into it, so when that happened, I look at things from like a quality of writing, character depth, this and that, and it was there. I think there were some moments where there was some really good writing. I will give it credit for that. This show, don't care though. And then another thing that really got me, the Halloween special. Oh my god, this is coming out October 7th. Werewolf by Night looks so good. It's gonna be like anyone who knows, I've talked about this, the 40s, late 30s, 40s, and 50s horror, my favorite, the black and white cinema, and it's looks so good. I don't even want to talk about it too much. I'm gonna be talking about it in a trailer breakdown, but Werewolf by Night is gonna be probably one of my favorite things to be added to Disney Plus this year. Then we got Echo, which will be sometime next summer. It's the spinoff from Hawkeye. Don't care at all. Like, nope. The Armored Wars is something I'm really curious about because, you know, we got Don Cheadle back. And I guess there's some Iron Man suits that were stolen. And this will be a sequel to Secret Invasion with no release date. And I was like, Armor War for me, even though it's not fully like adapted and I've been modified, but from a Disney Plus standpoint, the best way to do this would have made it Hammer industry related, and you know, after the events of Iron Man 2 going into Iron Man 3 and everything else, this would have been great. That the whole entire time Hammer's biding his time and he's working on tech. Somehow, you know, during the blip or the snap or whatever, the dusting, whatever they want to call it, he's sneaky, gets his hands on some Stark Industry tech, and you know, there's so much stuff that could have been done. Another thing, they got another sneak peek at She-Hulk, and I'm like, it's already airing, so I don't care. And like I said, I have to. Oh, I still have to review episode 4. It's episode 5 is coming out this week. I'm actually really enjoying it, honestly. Let's see. And other than that, like, there's some Star Wars stuff. Um, I don't know if I want to talk about Star Wars stuff. Like, apparently they're doing something like, they're adding like, oh, what's his name? Ezra from Rebels is gonna be live action. The Ahsoka show, and I'm like, I was like, I liked Rebels. Rebels was a really good show. But my thing right now is with Marvel, and it's the same thing with Star Wars, but Star Wars more importantly, because Marvel there's a lot of characters. The thing with Star Wars is like, and it can be said with comic book stuff, when we weren't getting movies and shows constantly, when something came out Star Wars, it felt important. It felt big. It felt like special because we weren't getting something Star Wars every 3 months, you know? Now it's like every couple of weeks we have a new Star Wars show starting, and I'm just like, I'm just over Star Wars now because it's so saturated. And when you oversaturate, even if it's different people, different teams, different production, you're still getting like burnt out on it, and the quality is not going to be there. Mandalorian is great. I'm sure Andor is going to be good. I had my qualms with Obi-Wan, and that's kind of where like the honeymoon phase of Star Wars for me was over. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm 36. Yeah, I didn't see the original trilogy when it came out because I wasn't born, but I did see them when they were re-released in the 90s. My first Star Wars new film that I ever saw that wasn't on VHS or this and that was Phantom Menace when I was in junior high. But like, I think I'm kind of done with Star Wars for a while. But I am excited because next year we're getting Indiana Jones 5, and it doesn't, and Harrison Ford didn't, so it's not a reboot. And I don't hate Chris Pratt. I don't. I'm actually a fan. And I know a lot of people were just like, oh, they're gonna reboot it with Chris Pratt and this and that. And apparently that's not the case. So I was like, hell yeah, I want to see this. Another thing, Willow is coming out in November. I'm excited. I love the original Willow. Like, I'm Willow was such like one of my favorite fantasy movies. When I was a kid watching it on VHS constantly. And apparently they're doing some stuff with Avatar. Don't really care. I really don't. I know the movie's coming out in December. I just don't care about Avatar. I don't. Going back and watching the first one, because this is a sequel coming out, like the Way of Water, or whatever the hell it's called. Watching the first one, like, visually appealing. Don't get me wrong, but man, it wasn't like dialogue, plot, and everything else just didn't. I was like, ugh, I don't care. I really don't care. I'm not even gonna talk about the Little Mermaid live action. I'm not even touching that. Okay, I know how the internet's reacting to it. I've seen the tweets. I saw it trending. Switzerland. I'm switch. I'm neutral. Fifth Amendment right. Pleading the fifth. Not even talking about that. Not even gonna. Nope. Also, Inside Out 2 was announced. Honestly, don't care. And the first Inside Out was so good. One of my favorite modern Disney Pixar animated films. I think it was great, like, well written, great balance, and good voice acting cast. But I just, something about the two, I'm like, you don't need it. Hocus Pocus 2, that's coming out in like 2 weeks on Disney Plus. So I was like, all right, whatever. Like, you guys are just showing stuff that we're about to get. Intrigued about the Haunted Mansion. I've never seen the original one with Eddie Murphy. I've never been to Disney. Sorry, I've just never been. So I don't know any of the rides, any of the attractions. But I know Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in this. And it's probably going to be good. And apparently it's coming out in March. And I was like, it's a weird time for Haunted Mansion to come out. Um, Disenchanted. Never seen the Enchanted, so I don't have any, like, I don't know. I don't understand this next one. Mufasa, the Lion King. We're getting a prequel to Lion King, and it's basically Mufasa wasn't born into royalty, and I'm like, eh. It's coming out in 2024. And I'm like, okay, this is a cash grab. I don't understand this. Why is this a thing? Who okayed this? I don't want to see this. That's like when they did that Lion King, like 1.5 or 2 and a third or 1 and 1 3/4 or whatever the hell it was called. I'm like, why is this happening? Because remember that time frame when like Disney was releasing all these random sequels on VHS in the 90s? Like we had Lion King 2, we got like a Little Mermaid 2, we got like just random sequels to stuff, and it was like unnecessary. Then we got Osmosis Jones. Oh wait, never mind. That's called Elemental. Um, and I didn't see a trailer or anything. I just saw the photos and people talking about it, and um, I don't know. It's coming out in June. It looks interesting. I don't really care about it. And there's something else also that they announced called Elio, where from Pixar. Pixar had a lot of stuff announced, and I feel like I'm just saying right now. I feel bad for all the like animators who feel like they're under crunch and having to work all these long hours, because I've had friends who do animation in the past who stopped doing it, and they said, you know, when you get multiple like contracts and this that, and you're crunching like and not getting to see your family, like it takes its toll on you. And that's why I have nothing but the utmost respect for anyone who's an animator, visual effects, special effects, this VFX, all that stuff. Nothing but the utmost respect, because you're unsung heroes who only get one award you know, during award ceremonies that you can be nominated for, that matters for the job you do, and no one realizes how much work you do and how much you sacrifice to do these animations. But Elio is an 11-year-old boy who inadvertently becomes a representative of Earth to the galaxy after becoming the first human to meet an alien. Another 2024 thing. Another Disney's Iwaju, which is a set in a futuristic version of Nigeria. Coming out sometime next year on Disney Plus. I haven't seen a trailer. This is the first time I'm seeing it in my little thing that's going over all the stuff that was announced. Strange World, no idea. It's a lot of animated stuff, and I'm like, eh. No, here's one that I care about. National Treasure, Edge of History. I love National Treasure. Everyone knows this. I am a huge National Treasure fan. I have watched both multiple times. When I originally heard there was going to be a National Treasure like show, I was like, oh, maybe they'll continue with the second movie. I know one of the, not Nicolas Cage, the other actor, he was kind of holding out for more money. At least that's the rumor, what everyone was saying, and why there wasn't another third film, which there should be. But I guess because of, and obviously Nicolas Cage isn't in the show, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to check it out anyways because I love National Treasure. I love stuff like that. I like history, but I don't like reading about history. It has to be something fun and entertaining, like a National Treasure type thing. Also, there's a Peter Pan movie with Jude Law's Captain Hook coming out next year sometime. Don't care. Peter Pan, overdone. Tired of these live action stuff. Hook is the best Peter Pan film. Then something else, the Muppets, don't even care. We are getting a cartoon series for, I guess, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. It's coming out in February. I'm curious to see how that's going to be handled. I didn't watch any of the trailers. There's a Santa Claus TV series. Don't care. Really don't. And then they announced some stuff that's coming to Avengers Campus with like King Thanos, where in an alternate universe, like Thanos, you know, that was never stopped. So I'm like, okay, that sounds cool, I guess. But yeah, that's everything from D23 that's like listed that I cared about anyways. And some stuff I didn't, that like just popped up in the list that I didn't know. it seems really intriguing. I am looking forward to Marvel. I think they've got some good stuff in the pipeline, and some non-Marvel stuff too, like Willow. Willow definitely has me intrigued. National Treasure, definitely. Indiana Jones 5, like, I want to see a trailer. Like, I'm very curious, and I hope this is kind of like the finale of it, because the last one just really, the Crystal Skull really left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. So I'm really hoping this is like this proper send off to that character that we deserve, and a good way to kind of like close the door on this character and the franchise there. Don't reboot it and all this other crap. Just give us our final Indiana Jones adventure. But yeah, that was it for D23 stuff. I'm not really a lot of other stuff going on. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna have another episode at the end of the week, a regular one where I'm not going over D23. It's just some other stuff. I have some other content I'm working on. Like I said, I got some manga stuff I'm working on. I gotta do my She-Hulk review. I gotta catch up on my Rent to Girlfriend anime review. I didn't even talk about the movies and shows I've been watching. A lot. We just watched Thor: Love and Thunder on Disney Plus. So it's my second time watching it. I enjoyed it more on a second viewing, because I wasn't caught off guard by anything, and I got to kind of really digest everything I was watching. We binged all of season 5 of Cobra Kai. I have a review coming soon of that. That's gonna be like, I loved that season so much, and I'm really enjoying Cobra Kai and the direction they're going. Who would have thought it would have lasted 5 seasons? I sure didn't know that, or think it would have. And then just a lot of anime stuff I'm watching. But that's really it for the episode. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Don't forget the subscribe button down below, and you can see some other videos and toy stuff and Toku. If you're listening, you can find the podcast on all your favorite podcast listening platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Pod Republic, Podbean, iHeartRadio, which I think I already said. But you can go to anchor.fm/ANNM podcast, or just type in their name, Mark Podcast, into any podcast listening platform of your choice. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave me a 5-star review, a little comment there. Helps put me up in the algorithm more to help the podcast get more discovered. I really appreciate that. And if you're watching, please like the video, maybe comment, tell me what from D23 Expo got you excited. Are you looking forward to anything from the future of the MCU in the next 2 years? I'm very curious to see what everyone else thinks. With that being said, I thank you guys for listening, and I thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 127 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm a nerd.